حياكم مرة ثانية دنقنرونبا. احنا الحين وصلنا لما أول محاكمة عندنا. نبدأ نشوف الإي هاند بوك. خلينا نشوف الأدلة اللي معنا بس عشان نتذكرهن على السريع. عندنا معنا كوما فايل، ستراكر ريبليكا سود، ريبليكا سود شيث. أظهر عرفت الباقيات. خلنا بس الأكاونت هذا بيتذكره. The knife from the kitchen went missing while I was in the dining hall. I was صح، هذه معناته احنا ما شافتنا اجل. لو احنا كنا مرتكبين الجريمة. فنحت سكيلز، احنا تعلمنا كم واحدة. cool and composed. هذا ماوس فويس. ما ظهر في ثانيات، لا. يلا نبدأ نقول بسم الله. Trial or rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
أنا ليش أحب كلاس ترايل؟ لأن أكثرهم يتكلمون هم، فأنا كمان أسمع لي بس كم تعليق بايخ مني، هذه الصراحة.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
يعجبني يبتدي يكررك يعيد يبدأ يقولك هذه بعد كل محاكمة.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
إيه.
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
ما عليك، ما بنسوي الحين اتاكا.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
وشو؟
What's going on with those pictures?
احترام.
I feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
اسكتي فومي.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Foreshadowing.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started.
طيب شلون نبدأ؟ وش الموضوع حقنا؟
Next up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
يعجبني خلها تبدأ ثم يقولون وشلون يقعدون ساكتين. يلا. أعرف النون ستوب ديبيت. لا أعرف كل شيء. أنا أحب هذه النون ستوب ديبيت.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
والله.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
أنا بخلي تسكت بس نشوف مكورو ايش راح يقول. ليش أحب يطلع الكلام ثم تطلق الدليل حقك عليهم. خلوا حماس أكثر شوي. الحين نسوي سكيب. هي قالت هذا اللي بعده. لا معقولة ما شفت الغرفة؟ واو هي غريبة بعدين مثلا تلعب دنقنرونبا 3 ولا 2 هذه كذا هادية.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
حيوسة.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
أكثر من يعني مواجهة شوي، كانت حرب.
A struggle? Between who and who?
أنا وجون سينا، يعني مين بيكون؟
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
وكان غبي.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay,
صادق.
so what's next?
سلاح الجريمة.
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
والله صح علي.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
بوي صوتي يقهرني شوي. أعتقد السلاح بعد واضح وشو. بس هذا اللي تقول هي زي التدريب للاعب المفروض يتعود.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach.
وشو؟
Without a doubt,
شوكة.
is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch.
يعني مثل صوت موندا مألوف ليك، كأني سمعته مرة.
So what was used to...
There was some kind of without a doubt.
لون
So the
اسكيب.
killer used some random knife.
لا
No, that's wrong.
مو براندوم نايف، سكين من المطبخ.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh?
اي واحدة منها كانت
Kitchen
ضايعة.
knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
معقولة طلب من كلام هذا كله عشان
And if you
تستوعب.
look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all
طيب.
know Makoto killed her, right?
أوه لزقت جريمة فيني.
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
أدلة زيادة.
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
على الأقل نصير آمنين يا ليون.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
إيه. لا عاد أنا كارف الحين. طلب من كل لعبة 3 ألعاب من لعبتكم أعرف شلون نظام التحكم. عاوز أكاونت. أو
So I
هنا.
guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
هذه صح.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed
في أحد ثاني.
Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes, then it's been decided.
أنت موافق على طول.
We've reached the end.
لا توني الحين ما وصلنا النهاية يا هيفومي. نسوي
So I
سكيب.
guess there's no question, but where does that...
Makoto, he did it in secret.
لا
No, that's wrong.
هي بالبداية تصير سهلة بس بعدين يعني بالقضايا مثلا ذي شو الثالثة الرابعة تصير معقدة شوي تصير أصعب.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
ما هو أنا المجرم.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
هنا تكفين افزعين لي يا بنت
Remember
الحلال.
what you were
لا
telling me
تنكبيني.
earlier?
لا تنكبيني تكفين. صحيح انت تقول اني قاعد بالمطبخ ولا شافت احد يختفت السكين ولا شافت احد يدخل.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You
لا.
don't think so?
شو رايك معصب؟
No, he definitely wasn't there.
كفو.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time.
فمعناته انا بريء.
There's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
هلا.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
يعني متعاونين ها؟
Idiot swimmer girl! Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
عجبني انه تعالوا تمشي مع السبة ثم قالت اني وراها ارتكب جريمة انا بعد.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each
Hola.
murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
اها.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
وش الفائدة
There's
حجر؟
no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case.
انا كم عمره.
Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall. and I didn't take the knife, so
Hello.
I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
جميل.
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
بسم الله.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Sakura's me.
Right. But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because,
وشو؟
well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
هي
I
تكلمت.
got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means, we have airtight alibis.
يعني انتم عندكم اعذار ها؟
Stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
لا.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so
يب
I
صح.
don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem. A boy and a girl
Uh-oh.
spending the night together? It's unwholesome.
تاكا ودك تسحب كلامك شوي.
I'm a girl.
What? You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
تأسف
But if it
قوة.
wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
وش طيب؟
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
من هو؟
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
يعني هو ميت أجل يا.
Sarika. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
شلون؟ يعني هي اللي أخذت سكين؟ في الهي سايكا.
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's
توا
the
قالت
only
لك.
possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
هذه حركة غريبة انك فجأة تدخل في ناس بغرفة ولا تعطيهم وجه
As she
حتى.
left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
أخذت سكين وفقعت.
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
يعني هي كانت ناوية تسوي جريمة
In that
هجل.
case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
وراها أنا.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
لا بريء أنا يا ناس.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
صح تونا بدري اللعبة راح تصير سريعة مرة.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
ظني عرفت ايش
Something was
قصده.
missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
يب عرفته. هاند مان جامبت. لا هذا اشين شيء بدانجنرونبا. الهاند مان جامبت مرة سيئة. سبحان الله بالجزء الاول كان اوكي، الجزء الثاني كان خياس، الجزء الثالث كان خياس. اللعبة دي المفروض في شلون يصلحونه، يشيلونه يجدعونه بزبالة. وش الشيء الوحيد اللي كان المفروض يمسح الجريمة بس مو موجود معنا الحين؟ فكروبه. بس للأسف هي هاند مان جامبت مرة سيئة. HA هير شعر.
Now I understand.
يعني ما في شعر وانت يا مكورة، انت شعرك ذا المفروض فيه كومة شعر بعد.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
وراي واخر أدلة يعني غرفته.
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
صح.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No.
ايه لا
If that were
لا
the case,
عفوا
they would
تلخبطت.
have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course.
عشان يوخر
And
أي
no
دليل
trace
له.
that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then
يعني مكورو
Makoto isn't the culprit?
صدقتوني
Sure
هالحين؟
we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
تعجبني وجه هذه الابتسامة
I'd
رهيبة.
like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
إيه.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
صح.
And how
You
did
know
the
that-
killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
إيه.
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
الحين بدي أعلمكم سر دانجنرونبا. هو مو بأنت ذكي اللي باللعب، لا، إن كل اللي معك هنا أغبياء، ولا أحد منهم يفكر ويشوف المسرح الجريمة، وأنت الوحيد اللي تعبت عمرك قلت يلا بشوف المسرح شوي.
There was
هذه
clear evidence left
هذا
behind.
الدليل حق
Do you
دانجنرونبا.
remember Makoto?
هذه الحقيقة. The killer struggled to get into the bathroom and the evidence that proves it is... طيب check the broke. الباب. وين الباب؟ آها.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
هذا الحق المفتاح حق حمامي
The
تكرم.
doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
وراي تعب عمره إذا حمامي ما يقدر يقفل.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
وراي
You
أكسره.
still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
طيب. لا أعرف شو راح أسوي الحين. ما يحتاج تدريب. عندنا طفيه كان طفيته. Bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
صح.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
طيب.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
آها لا.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it.
كمان راح
We
أقول.
already know the answer.
ساعات كمان راح أقول إني أنا بريء. قول لهم ثور قالوا لي احلبوه.
The incident took place.
لا.
Sayaka was first. She then fled into
So
the
skip.
And they got into the back. At that point, the killer because
Sayaka had locked
أوبس الغلط. يس.
No, that's wrong.
استعجلت تو.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the
صح.
only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
مونوكوما نبي فزعتك الحين.
The door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
أحس إنه مونوكوما حاطه قصد بس عشان يغثه.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
لأنه بعد المحاكمة هذه يصلحي على طول. أحس بس مسوي بس عشان يغثك.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
لانه يحس بنفسه غرفة
Everyone should have
سايكا.
known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
اللوحة. So another was the most detail of the scheme. Didn't know was the crime took place in my room. إنه ما يعرف شلون جت غرفتي.
Realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
صدقني يا هيفومي في اشياء كثيرة غباء الناس
And
توديهم
yes,
بداهية.
he's absolutely right.
Say what?
مرة
Well,
ثانية.
to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
Then there would have been a lock on the door,
صح.
and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
مسكين اجل بسبب خطأ تافه نكب عمره.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
صح.
That is a definite
يعني عجبني يوم قال that is منقر اني بريء.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
اخيرا صدقتيني.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
هذا لما اموت بدارك سولز عند زعيم ولا شيء.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
اكيد هذا ودك شيء تسويه.
You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
اي شيء بس خلونا نتناقش بهالمحكمة.
As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
كفو.
Oh, you.
سبحان الله حتى بعد ردة فعل لو قال لي واحد الاستاذ يلا سؤال ورفع يدين يقول اخ انت.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so...
وش السؤال؟
Well... I was just wondering... How did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
سؤال والله كويس.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
تعجبني تمثل صوت ساكرا. Yes.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
اي بس هذه فرصة 90% انه ما تصير ف أنا صعبة.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
ما نقدر.
Negative. If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way.
شلون يعني؟
They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
ما أتوقع لا.
That can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
لأنه عندي دليل. أنت يا فومي بدك تتفلسف وأنا عندي أدلة وأنت واحد ما شاف شيء أبدا. وينه؟ لا كرسون. صح switching room.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
صح أنا وراها بدلنا الغرف إذا ما كانت هي خايفة.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
إيه.
What if her being scared was a lie?
هذه هنا اللقطة هذه قال شيء ثم قال طن هذا الصوت ثم الموسيقى تروح أنيماته اللعبة بتقلب.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
وش هي؟ There's something I wanted to talk to you about. Just us two in 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplates. Make sure you don't get the wrong room. Okay?
I found a notepad during my search. and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
هذه ما ادري هي صدق ولا لا
When I saw
الصراحة.
that, I was like, holy crap! I'd better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
معناته سايكا هي اللي كاتبة.
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
تساءل مين؟
So, Makoto, did you write this?
إيه.
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature.
والله حتبع التوقيع.
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must
من
have
هو؟
slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
أكيد إنه أنت هيثومي.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
تعدى كلمتي على طول.
Can we be sure
ابن الذين.
anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened. Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say?
فين؟
Very
إيه.
well then. Pay attention.
يلا. لا نستوب دبيت راح يستمر. لا أنا نستوب بالجزء الثالث.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
صح هذه.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says my room.
صح.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even
قرأت
if
توالي
someone
لتو.
did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
قايل لك اللي معنا باللعبة هم أنا ما بذكي اللي حتى بطلنا مكورو غبي. حلو بس اللهم ان كل اللي معنا حمير ما يعرفون شيء. دبش.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
ايه لو انك شايفت المسرح الجريمة الثانية بس كان شفتي هالشيء.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
والعكس.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
ايه.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other. So switching the nameplates would be no problem.
أبد كله 5 ثواني راح تاخذ.
And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
ايه.
Right. Okay, then who did it?
سايكا ما في الا غيره. Me.
I got it!
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
وراه.
You can also infer as much from her note.
صح قالت له انتبه يعني check the name plates يعني.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate.
يب عشان تضمن انه يجي.
She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
عشان بس انه حط له فخ.
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
أو يمكن العكس.
We figured it out. We know who did it.
Whoever she invited over is the culprit.
طيب من هو اللي
But we still
استجابته؟
don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me.
Ah,
There was a
safe
replica
الحين.
sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
ايه.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself.
يمكن هكت عليك بعد انك زلابة.
Seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
عشان في قطع ذهب شيء على يده. Sayaka's wrist.
I got it!
I got it!
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
هذا ذهب.
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you.
صدقيني راح اعرف انا. هو بدي اقول كذا مكور بعدين.
And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
يعطيك العافية انك قطعتن.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
طيب يلا خلينا نشوف مين. لا ما احتاج اعرف كل شيء. Make your argument. Replica sword sheath, kitchen knife set, replica sword.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword,
طيب.
and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
لا مو بالسيف اللي استخدموها العكس المفروض.
When the fighting broke out,
روح للشيت لانه ريبليكا الشيت يقول انه مختوش كذا من قدام.
The culprit,
and that's when the first sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
غلط. اول مرة تفتح فمك وتتكلم يا هيرو. كل كلامك خطأ.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Huh? Why not?
قايل لك كلهم حمير.
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
لا مو بسكين. مو بالسكين. وش رايك يعني؟
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
ايه.
If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
ايه.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
يمكن استخدم الشيث على انه درع.
They got attacked with the kitchen knife. Maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which
Hey.
means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
مين كان؟
So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too.
طيب السؤال يطرح نفسه. إذا معه السكين وطعنه أو بهاجمه يعني وهي مسكت السيف، والله يجدع السكين وياخذ السيف.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
يده. Her palms.
I got it! You're
ما في
talking about
ذهب.
her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
تو شرحته.
Like I said before,
الذهب.
the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's
والنكبة.
really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
يعني ما اتوقع لما تطعنون تقول اوه بغسل يديني اعطوني ثواني.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
وراه.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
اعذروني بس في قاتل لاحقني، بس خلوني بغسل يديني شوي، توي لامس زيت. تفكيركم.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
ايه
No, that's not it at all.
هذا السبب الاول. الثاني انه كذا يشرح القضية. كمل. The water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
ايه.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh
my.
يعني إذا هفومي قال ها.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
إهانة.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
شوف شو موسيقى سكتت. عادل امسحبه.
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka.
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
كانت هي القاتلة.
Far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
مكورو قايل لك انت حمار. الله يهديك بس وانا اخوك.
Took the knife from the kitchen,
خروف.
then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
ايه.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
السلس مكورو اسمع السلس ترى والله هذه عندنا نقطة قوية.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain
تو يستوعب
why she would
أخيراً.
switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret.
يعجبني وجه ليون على فكرة على اليمين تقول دا.
If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
صح.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
وبعدين جابتنا القصة انه شلون احنا نعرف بعضنا يا متوسط.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation, a totally forgettable kid, or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
ايه توكم تستوعبون.
But in the end,
Holy
her
shit,
plan
وانا اخوك.
backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
من حفر حفرة لأخيه.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
وراك.
Because...
ايه because احتريك انا.
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it.
اصبر.
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
عندي وجهة نظر عفوا.
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
لا معك راح نلقاه. ارتاح يا ماكورو. عندنا أدلة والنقاش حق راح يستمر. Make your argument. Dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
لا.
Die! Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
لا عليك ارتاحي عندي شيء. هو قال ما في أي أدلة صح؟
It's easy just to say, but there just aren't any more clues, right?
لا.
No, that's wrong.
Dying message.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Dining.
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
والله تكتب رقم فجأة.
Before we get too far into that, I need to ask,
هلا.
can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
ايه عندي دليل. مو بالرست. الاندكس
I
فينجر.
got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still,
هلا.
what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
تكمل الرقم اخرته يطلع رقم بيتزا هات جنبهم.
Hey Chihiro, you're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
شلون يعني؟
Yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
وشو؟
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers.
يعني حروف ها؟
Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
باختصار خذ هذه الرقم واقلبه. شو راح تصير؟
You're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1. But looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
مين هنا اللي اسمه ان؟
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
اسكت يب هي فهمي يسكت.
But even if that really is an N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
شيل الارقام وخليه حروف. شو راح يصير؟
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
باختصار.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
واضح اسمه.
You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
دعس.
So, whose name did she write?
فكر. قال هذه حروف يطلع اسم مين ومين هنا اللي حرفه ان. ليون.
Here's my answer.
ليون اس كينيدي.
Solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
ليون أنت.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
إيه صح صدفة.
It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
صدفة أدري.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
والله ليون.
Sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
كابتن.
You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
الأدلة اللي حيحرقها. Is that a thing I found? Yep. كان التيشيرت حقه.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the
Yep.
shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
وهذه كانت دليل القاطع.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
يلا ليون. راح يخاف زي الحين.
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
صح هذا احنا اللي نستخدمينه بس احنا مستخدمين اسمه كان مكتوب.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Remember the burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. To pay attention or to figure out where it was stopped. How?
I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, sure.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
صح.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
Hey.
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash.
Interesting.
هيفومي. لا مو هو. يب. هذا شات كريستال بول.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
صح.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence.
لا.
Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was...
أنت.
Huh? Me?
ودك بعدين صدق يصدق يقول أنا اللي ذبحته؟ لا.
The key to the whoever was on cliff. So
صح.
the only one the first
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
غلط.
No, that's wrong.
ليون كل شيء جاي ضدك يا ابن الحلال اعترف.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
إحنا نعرف واحد واسمه 11037.
Yes, you could.
What is it? Some kind of glass ball?
أو كتبتها غلط.
Busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but
But how would you use it?
تفكري كورة ultimate baseball throw it.
Got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
someone through a gap in the gate?
إيه.
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
صح إنه الشيء اللي قاعد كان مفتوحة.
Hifumi had the key. So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
يجيك مكورب عشان يمسك الميكروفون يشدع بالأرض ويطلع برا.
Hey, come on! What the hell this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire.
في شيء ثاني؟
If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
صح.
Wait, no, just hold on.
وشو؟
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
Hey.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
إيه؟
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
The ultimate baseball star.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
بام بام!
Do you have any idea how stupid
ماذا
I
رايك في
sound
الصوت
right
ذا اللي
now?
تو؟
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
عندك شيء ثاني؟
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer.
إلا
These
أنت.
goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong. I'm telling you.
طب وش أدلتك؟
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
جاء ثاني جزء أحسن ثاني شيء باللعبة إذا جاب فترة محاكمة.
That, we can end this.
Listen to me. What the hell do you mean end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
ياب a closing argument. هذه أحسن شيء. هذه ثاني أحسن شيء. أول شيء بالنسبة لي اللي هي الجزء الثالث نسيت اسمه. نسيت اسمه بس مو بالحين أتذكر إن شاء الله وأنا بهذه الحين. حلو. إيه أول شيء هنا جاي هنا فتح الباب ثم سايكا هاجمته استخدم هذه لا نحط هذه لقى السيف وراه صده ضربه جاب يطعنه ثم هنا جت قفلت الباب لا اصبر لا كان مقفل حاول يدخل راح افتحه طب ليون الله يهديك يعني مقفلت عليك باب ورا ما هجيت انت وقعدت تصرخ للناس ثم نطعنه ستابي بعد ما طعنه كتبت الاسم ثم جاء مسح الغرفة استخدم الكورة ثم انحرق وبس هذه احترق قاعدة لا بوم
You! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning.
يس صح
Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier.
على فكرة بس سؤال وش سالفة هذه الحركة حقت يده؟ وش كان يسوي؟ يس.
But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for.
قايل لك يا مكور شوف وجهه وشلون مرعب.
Sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom.
وش احب هذول اللي كأنك تشوف كوميك يمشي كذا قدامك. قرب مقفل.
The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing.
يس صح
So
كلهن.
instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka.
ايش كان ذاك المشهد حق وين.
But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone.
موتة الشين الصراحة ليه؟ لأنه طولت. تشوف هنا عايشة الحين.
With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood.
بعد مسحوا كل الشعر.
Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area.
يعطيك العافية اليوم ما
They
تقصر.
wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate.
بس أنا معي كرة قزاز.
So they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room.
لأنه حمار.
The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot, and that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star.
أنا أقول متحمس the ultimate baseball star.
The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life.
Roar to life.
Having destroyed the final piece of
أحس كده قاعد
evidence,
نشوف كونان مرة
they left
ثانية.
the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed.
إن التيشيرت حقه ما احترق.
Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
Damn.
Isn't that right, Leon?
ليون أنا أقول كأنه بزر ليون. مكورون طيب
It would
شوي.
appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room.
علمني إذا جيت عندنا برياض أعزمك على كاسة شاي وأنا أخوك.
You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
إيه.
Object? Hell yes, I object. Of course I do. I object. I object. I object.
طيب إيش دليلك؟
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence?
كل اللي وريتك إياه كلها ما كفنك.
Without evidence, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit, and I refuse to acknowledge it.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence?
يب. هذه البولت تايم. من مرة كويسة.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it.
إيه.
Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
A toolkit.
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Stupid. Yeah.
Stupid, 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 stupid.
مش درينا ما شاء الله أنا غبي. بس أنا الغبي اللي راح يموتك. قصدي يثبت إنك مجرم عشان تموت. هذه من مرة صح لأنه صار زي لعبة رذم.
Where's your proof?
تضغط إكس مثلث إكس 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 إكس.
Stupid.
غلط.
You
مس.
lie. Stop talking.
You lie. ما شاء الله عليه.
Where's your proof?
شايف باتمان اضرابه مرة ثانية.
You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid.
ما عاد انضربت.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Where's your proof? You kidding me?
طق طق طق.
Not a chance.
طق طق
It
طق
wasn't me.
طق. Boom.
Where's your proof?
Toolkit.
This should prove it.
بوم. عندك شيء ثاني؟ اثبت انك ما استخدمت هذيك الساعة نثبت انك صدق بريء.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
ايه
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
Then that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
يلا.
The toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
كويس.
The culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
يلا اخيرا بدوا يستخدمون عقولهم.
Which toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this,
Eh?
the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
عرف الحقيقة بدأت تدخل كذا اها.
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid.
استسلم. بدأت تحت الوسخ شوي. بس انه ذبح واحدة
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
18 التفتون كذا عليه. You're already dead. Up. اي بس 79 اخرته. الله ياخذ كاميراكم وانت قيضي. اتوقع الحين وصلنا للنهاية.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all,
Hello.
make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
ايه.
Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one?
كل هذا اخرته نختار غلط ونموت.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
يب وصلنا النهاية. دن دن. يعجبني جبني هاي قلتي ياي اجدع فلوس. ولا تاخذ واحدة منهن. يب. The blacklist gate killed Sayaka. None other than ليون عفوا ليون كوالا. يلا راح نشوف مقطع الحين شبابكم. الف عافية على المشاهدة. ان شاء الله يا رجعنا راح نشوف الاعدام حق ليون. يلا كان معك اخوكم عبد السلام ومع السلامة.